the show. I can't tell you how excited I am tonight. We have a very special guest with us. He's a rising star in the world of independent cinema. Peter Owusu, my man.
Man.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you too, buddy.
Peter is a Ghanaian filmmaker and a current MFA student at The Ohio University. And he's been making waves with his powerful, character-driven student films. His latest project, ASHANTI IMMIGRANT, delves deep into the complex relationships between two artists as they navigate their fears of failure and the weight of legacy. Peter, I'm so glad to have you on the show. Welcome, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you, my brother. I'm happy to see you again.
Yeah.
We've had some projects together. You're an amazing talent. You're an amazing actor, and I really love to work with you. And thank you for hosting me here. It's a big platform, and I'm happy that you've given me the opportunity.
Yeah, of course. We're just gonna talk a little bit about your new film, ASHANTI Immigrant, and so your films, they've just been celebrated for their deep emotional life and their focus on human vulnerability, culture, and identity. Can you tell us what inspired your filmmaking journey and how those themes have evolved in your work?
Yeah, so I would say that my filmmaking journey started by accident. Started by accident. When I was young, I wasn't allowed to, go outside too much because I had this little medical condition where when I get a cut, the blood can ooze for a long time before it clots. So that means I had to be kept safe. So I was always in a room at home with my parents. And also, I was a bit nasal whenever I spoke. And so my friends would make lots of fun about me when I speak.
Course,
so
yeah.
it always made me like, be on my corner, quiet, not say anything. So in Ghana, on the last day of school, there's always like performances by the students. So there will be drama, there will be poetry recital, there will be like songs and all that. But because I'm nasal, because when I speak, people laugh at me, I didn't take part in any of those, because I didn't want anybody to make fun of me.
Yeah.
So because I didn't take part in it, I was at the point where I could observe. My brother was more active and my sister was very active. They were part of like they were the big performers of the time. So whenever they came home with their notes and their scripts and all that they need to prepare, I would be at the other side just watching them prepare and telling them how they look or how they sound and how they should do it best. And then on the day of their performance, I would be sitting there, watching them, praying that they do it exactly as I told them. And they were always like, the big successes. So I was always happy to guide them and to help them with their rehearsal. So I think that's where it started for me, when I felt that instead of being the person to be on the stage, why not be the person who is not on the stage, but making sure that those who are on the stage do it and do it well,
Yeah.
And so when I got to my university, doing my undergrad studies at the theater and history, so there for my final project, I decided to do a film instead of do a stage play. And funny story, I feel that most of my friends that we used to play around those times, they were reading like economics, like business administration, like physics, and around that time, those were like the courses. Like, man, if you are doing that, it means you are super brilliant and you are smart. And I felt most of them, I thought I was better than them because we've all been to the same like school, primary school, and I was beating most of them. So I felt, well, yes, you are doing science, but I'm still smart than you, kind of thing. So, and when we got to the final year, most of them, they didn't have time for friendship. They're like, yeah, I'm working on my project. I'm working on this thesis and this big thing. Yeah. And I felt, okay, so they're all working on something and they're all going to leave something behind. Legacy. What am I going to leave behind? What am I taking home? So when I, graduate from school and I go, my mom asks me, what did you do in school? I'll be like, what? So I wanted to have something tangible that I can show them, that I can give them as what I did in school. So that they know they didn't waste their money. Because already when you are in school and you are doing theater, you feel like a failure anyway. So I was like, let me just try something. So I did a film. And then, to God be the glory, the film like blew up, took me a couple of countries, gave me a couple of awards. And there I realized that, that's my calling. it's something that it's easy for me to do, like bring up ideas and find a team to work on it. And it's something that I love to do. It's something that I don't get tired doing. And now it's something that I'm hoping to earn from it, because, if you know how to do something good, you don't have to do it for free. And also you have to make a living, life matters. You have a family to take care of, you have your ambitions to push, and you have lots of dreams that you want to bring to pass. So that's why I'm here in Ohio University, and that's why I'm making films, and that's why I'm doing a film, The Ashanti Immigrant. It talks about legacy, it talks about what we are leaving behind, it talks about journey, where it talks about, sometimes the confusion, the fear, and sometimes, the conflict that we all have as artists in our minds.
So Peter, I love this new film, ASHANTI Immigrant, your latest project, and it just seems like a very personal and intimate story. It explores the relationship between aging artist Margaret and her young assistant Kanto. I'm just curious, what drew you to this story, and how does it connect to your broader themes of identity and legacy?
Okay, so I'll answer this question in two folds. I'll first talk about the inspiration, the title, and then I'll talk about the story itself. So, Ashanti Immigrant is a stage name or the nickname or the art name for a friend of mine called Nana Kojo Osei. May he so rest in peace. He passed away about 2 years ago. And he was just full of life. He wasn't an artist, but he was always working around artists, promoting their works, going for art shows, celebrating them, and, just a happy being. So when I was working at Gallery 1957, it's a contemporary art gallery in Accra, Ghana. It's one of the finest in Africa. You should check it out. Whenever you come to Ghana, please, you should visit the gallery. They have amazing stuff. So when I was working there, the Ashanti Immigrant, or Nana Kojo Osei, always come around and make fun, and you always, no matter how your day is, no matter how my day is, you always made me happy.
Yeah.
So it was interesting. And also he passed away doing what he loved, leaving a legacy behind him. And so I am also an Ashanti, and I'm an immigrant here in the United States. I'm in film school, international student. So looking at my situation, it links up with his name or his situation, like leaving your home, coming to a new place, forming a family, and influencing the works over there. So that's how the title of the film or the inspiration came from. Now, the film is about, as you mentioned, Margaret Adams, an established, Western artist, one of the finest, and Konto Asante, an immigrant, an African student who is here to study.
Yeah.
Now, Margaret has a focus for her works that she wants to achieve some level of greatness before she passes. She has the opportunity to do her final body of work. She's completed 9 of them. She needs help with the last one. She's growing. She's old, so she's losing her touch. Hands are trembling, her vision and all that. It's passing. And that now times are changing. The old seems to be fading away. Now the traditional ways of doing things are almost being exchanged with, more advanced means. And now AI is taking over and all that. So that's the word of Margaret. And then the word of Konto Asante. Konto is young, vibrant, full of energy, can make mistakes, wants to try new things. And so he also appreciates life from a different point of view. He's the Gen Zs or the AI generation kind of people. So now Margaret invites Konto to help her in the studio to finish her works.
Yeah.
And based on how they work, based on how, the storyline goes, they have a lot of good times, and they also have a lot of bad times in terms of ideas, in terms of what color is the best to use, in terms of what's the best way to approach the work. So I'm playing between, the conflict between different cultures, one being a Western artist, one being an African artist. I'm playing between different generations, one being from the, the older generation and one coming from the newer AI generation. I'm playing between different ways of seeing things. One seeing it as, I cannot make mistake, I have to be perfect. One seeing it as, life is just a stage. You play when you have the chance, make mistakes, learn from it, move on. So I'm playing also between, people from two different points of being now. One is a citizen, one is an immigrant. They are not the same. Their ways of seeing things are different. Just playing between those, and also thinking about the broader theme of, what, now people from different sides can still work and make a perfect work. We can still contribute ideas. We can still contribute, our expertise in making dreams come to pass. So America is not built by only Americans. There are lots of immigrants from so many parts of the world who are doing like honest work and are doing great here, trying to push the economy. So yes, the system we are in, body of knowledge you are in, you're in the university. The university has lots of impact on you. But you also have impact on the university. The university gets better because of you. So just trying to let people know that although you may be from another point or another location, whilst you are benefiting from the atmosphere you find yourself, the atmosphere is also benefiting from you. So always see yourself as you're also making an impact, not only the system making impacts on you. And I believe that everyone, all of us, all humans, at some point in our lifetime, have been in one. It could either be a location, it could either be an atmosphere, it could either be a field of knowledge or a thought that we felt alien to, that we felt as strangers in, that we felt like, what is this? We have no idea what's happening. But although those systems had effect on us, we also left impact. It could be good, it could be bad. We are not here to talk about what's good or bad, but we all left impacts on it. So we are having an interview. You are having an impact in my life. I'm also leaving an impact on you and probably the viewers who are watching. So just playing with how these things work out, the conflict when, two people from different parts of the world and different ideologies clash, and how out of those, clashes, out of those disagreements, something beautiful, something near perfect, something extraordinary can be created.
Yeah, it's just like, it almost like has you take a step, when they do clash, take a step back and be like, well, maybe that being open to like a new idea or something could just help you learn and grow about whatever it is that they're going through.
Yes, absolutely.
I like that a lot. That's a good message right
Appreciate
there.
it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So like your films, they have great visual artistic styles to them. Like you have a great background in visual arts, and your films are known for their striking use of color and the composition. I'm just curious, like how do you approach your visual style in Ashanti Immigrant, and what can audiences expect in terms of the film's aesthetics? Okay,
so I wish I had a background in like visual arts. I wouldn't say like I'm a painter or an artist. I cannot even draw like a stick man. So I wouldn't put myself on that level. But I think that all I know about colors, about art, most of them I learned it during my time at Gallery 1957. That gallery has had a big impact on my life, and I really appreciate Marwan Zakem, the owner of the place, Victoria Cook, who supported me during my time there, and all the artists and all the team that I worked with. Amazing people, like amazing human beings. And I worked with some of the finest artists in the world. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, these are awesome. Like big stars. Amwakumbuafo, he's selling art. He's like, bringing the Ghanaian art culture here in the US. He's done amazing work. Ibrahim Ahama, he's buying planes and helicopters and, transforming them into works of art. I have Owusu, who is transforming coin into art. I have Cornelius. I have I don't know whose name to leave out. Oh, they'll kill me if I leave anyone's name out. Gideon Apa, amazing artist. Kwesi Botre, amazing artist. Ishak, amazing artist. Godfrey Donko, amazing artist. Sorry if I leave your name out. Like I'm just trying to have all these. All these artists affected my visual style, my aesthetics, my feel in different ways. Looking at the way they mix colors, looking at the way they have their compositions on their canvases, looking at the way they apply their paint, looking at the thought process, looking at the like near perfection with which they work, and looking at how the pre-process and then the post work, looking at the differences, and all those have affected my visual style. So going into Ashanti Immigrant, I'm tapping into that experience of color, of artwork, of portraits, of making every frame in the film look like a painting, you know. So that means I'm using for contour, I'm using bright explosive colors, you know, to signify his state of being, his state of mind. And for Margaret, I'm using like muted tones, darker tones to represent her age and also her ideologies and the fading of her time, you know. So just playing around those two. And also the studio is going to play a big part because the whole film happens in a studio. So it means that the studio has to be like an expression of both worlds. So there'll be parts of the studio that has like, you know, the old ways of doing things, and there'll be newer parts of the studio where like the newer ways of doing things, and see how those two blend in order to create art. I feel that a lot of people say that we are in the of course we are in the AI generation, and you know, AI and its impact on art and all that. I for me, I'm into it. I feel that systems or computing or softwares or AI has always been part of us, you know, since the first camera was ever made. You know, it wasn't a human camera, it's a system, it's a machine, it's a tool. So that's what AI is doing now, like supporting, helping us create works and, you know, do things in a faster rate. So I feel that yes, our ways of doing things traditionally, we need to guard it, we need to protect it, because it shows our history. It has a lot to give us, and in order to understand the future things well, you need to understand the things of old well. And it's not as if they are fading, they are just transforming into new form. So I'm hoping to, you know, have like an interplay of these two things in my film.
Yeah, I like that a lot too, because I guess like as just an audience viewer who doesn't have knowledge of filmmaking or acting, like it's always interesting like what the filmmaker can do to like bring more to the character, because the actors can do like have their idea on the character, but the filmmaker in the editing process can, like you said, Kanto has more brightness to him, and that like illuminates him in his way. And then Margaret has that it kind of makes her age more, and it's just interesting, like all these things that are behind the process that people might not realize that is being added to it, that really like helps portray the characters the way they are, just to make it more significant. And I just think that's really cool, and most people don't think about that.
Absolutely.
So it's awesome.
Absolutely. It's really it's really nice that you brought that up, because till now, with my little experience in film, you know, knowing all that goes into it, you know, being directing and writing and putting a whole production together, knowing that, well, it looks fake, we are all trying to make something look what it should be. It's make believe, you know. But knowing how, even at this level, I can still watch films and cry.
Yeah.
You know, like suspend all my disbelief and just be into it and cry. And sometimes it gets to a certain part of films that I'm not able to watch, like I cover my face. And I'm like, these are the things you do. That's the whole point of film. A film should be made in such a way that nobody thinks about all the other things that are going on except for what's on the screen, except for what's on the frame. So we shouldn't, I think that sometimes for a good film, we shouldn't even feel it's directed. You should feel that it's happening like naturally before your eyes. So one great filmmaker said that it's easy to make a film, but to make a good film, it's war, because you're at war with all the other things that are making it impossible for you to tell a good story. Getting the right talent, you know, location, getting all the contracts together, getting money, getting the distribution and all that. So it's war if you want to make a good film. But if you really want to make a really good film, then it takes a miracle, because you never know. You know, you can do all you do.
That's true.
But how the audience picks it up, how they run with it, how it touches people, well, that's not in your hands. It's in the hands of God. So you do your best, and then you leave the rest to God.
Yeah, I like that. That's a really good outlook. That's like the best. Movies are just films, stage stuff, like plays and stuff. It changes people's lives.
It does.
It just changed my life.
It does. It does.
And it could inspire you to be motivated to do something else, like if you be an actor, or maybe apologize to somebody for something that you said that was wrong or something. So it's just, they really are powerful. But yeah, your filmmaking, especially as an independent artist, you know, it comes with its challenges. What have been some of the big obstacles that you faced in bringing Ashanti Immigrant to life, and how have you overcome those obstacles?
Okay. I don't think our interview will permit a lot of time for all the obstacles we have. I would have list them from morning to evening. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. But basically, when we are talking about the obstacles, we talk about the most important one last. Because when we bring it first, everybody's like, yeah, we know that's a problem, but is that the only problem we have? So I think getting the right people to work with. I'm an immigrant here in the US. I'm in film school, and I have a limited amount of space, and even location, the context, to make films. So that's why I like writing films within the context I find myself. Finding the right actors, finding the right production crew, finding the right location, finding the right costume, music, editors. That's really the challenge. Finding the right people. Sometimes even one of the challenges could be finding the motivation. Why do you want to do this? Why don't you do something really simple, get away with, submit it for your grades and just work out? Finding the right motivation is also a thing. It's also key. But that notwithstanding, we still manage to find our way through. But finding money to put this idea together, that's the biggest issue. Because a lot of people believe that, film, you just get your friends, you just get a camera and you just shoot. Yeah, sometimes, but most of the time it needs a lot of money. For this film, I'm going to shoot in a studio. So I'm creating a whole studio from scratch, giving it a studio vibe, a studio look. I'm going to get more than 10 canvases, more than 10 paints, have a painter to even paint them. Also, feed the cast, feed the crew. If you fly in an actor, you need to give accommodation. You need to have an editor who is going to be paid and work on your projects, color correction, music, sound, somebody to work on all those ones. And also, when a film is done, for film festivals, you need to pay, to submit them for film festivals and to do promotion and all that. So, film is one of the major challenges, I'm facing now. Getting the funds to make the film is one of the major challenges that I'm making now. But we are working around it, seeing how we can get through to it, because the whole point of being a director is to be a problem solver. So nobody makes a film when there's no problem. There are always problems will happen even on set. Even today I saw that your setup, but it's all part of it. You make a decision, you make it work, you bring their dream to vision. That's the whole point. So we're working on it, trying to see if we could secure some funds and get some help to do the film.
Yeah, cool. So that brings me to an important question then. So you've created this beautiful, emotionally driven story, but as you mentioned, independent filmmaking often requires outside support. So how could people get involved in helping you bring Ashanti Immigrant to life?
Oh, that's exciting. What's the main camera? This one? Yeah. Let me make a speech to the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So where should I even start? So Ashanti Immigrant is deep on my heart. This is like the heart of my filmmaking, and I really want to make something that it's about me, but it's about lots of other people who are in that time in their life or have been through those moments in their lives where they were aliens to a system, to an ideology, to a location, where they had to find ways to fit in, they had to find ways to influence the system. It's also for people who I've also been at that part of my life where I ask myself that, what am I doing with my life? Where am I going? What kind of legacy am I leaving behind? What am I impacting the world? So it's for both kinds. So I want people to invest in my film, invest in me as a filmmaker, invest in my career path and my journey. I want people to support me, support the amazing work that the crew and I and the cast are going to make. I want you to help this dream possible. So we'll be starting up a GoFundMe for all those who want to help. So I'll be sharing the link on my socials so that people could donate to it. I can give a rough budget we are looking at. I'm yet to get the actual figures, but somewhere around between $3,500 and $5,000 is the budget we are looking at. And I would so much go to rest and sleep when I get a call after this interview saying, "Hey, Peter, stop asking people for money. Come, I'm sending it into your account." Yeah, I know it's possible. You know, my friends, my boys, my guys, no, they can do it. Yeah, they just want to be challenged. Yeah, well, it's just a phone call and they'll sort it out. So I'm looking up to you for support. Please help me make this a reality. And I'm doing this to also honor the Nana Kojo side brand too. So I'm hoping that proceeds from the film will also go to his family, because I know that he had people that he was taking care of. So help me make this a reality. Invest in my film. Make it work. I did one crowdfunding for Ghana House, my previous film, and it was amazing. People gave me money that I was so surprised. People even gave me what I knew they didn't have. So it shows how much you believe in my talent and my journey. So that film is still at the post-production, and once it's ready, I'm going to send a link in the appreciation note to all of you. But now it's Ashanti Immigrant. Help me make it work. Help me bring it to life, and we would always give back. So we are going to have gifts for those who give. We're also going to have credits. We are going to put everyone's name in there. I'm also going to give you access to behind-the-scenes shots. I'm also going to give you an exclusive view of the film when it's ready. So, come on board. Let's make this together. Let's create a moment together and let's build, this experience. I can't wait to get a call from this after this interview saying that go to bed. I'm sorting it out. I know you can do it. I believe in you. So thank you, and please keep your support coming in.
Yeah, anything you can do, even just a little bit, it really does go a long way. And just any support you guys can give us in helping Peter bring Ashanti Immigrant to life it would be awesome. So anything you can, just even if it's a little bit, it goes a long way. So
maybe if you say a little bit, they'll send a little bit. Say big, anything big they can bring.
Yeah, anything big, anything big or anything little. Yeah, if you want to go big, go big. Take it.
You can even go beyond the budget.
Yeah. If you want to send $1 million, that's cool. We can make a real feature film there. Yeah. But yeah, just anything big or little, anything you guys can do, that would be really helpful. So, but yeah, Peter, your career, it's taken you to some impressive heights, and you've gotten awards from award-winning events such as the Pan-African Film Festival to being recognized by the European Film Festival. So I'm just curious, what's next for you after Ashanti Immigrant, and where do you see your filmmaking journey heading?
Yeah, so that's always a deep question for me, quite emotional, because when it comes to my filmmaking journey, I'm living in the world of Margaret Adams, the actor in the character in my Ashanti Immigrant story. I'm at that point in my life that I feel, what am I even doing with my life? How is it going? Am I even making any impact? Am I doing something? Am I not just wasting away? So I'm also at that point where there's a lot of conflict and confusion. But even in those areas, when I really reflect, I can see that there's been lots of growth. I started off with no idea of filmmaking or no idea of film, and then my first film just win the award, blows up, takes me to 5 or 6 countries, and then I do my second film, Stand Tall, where I go premiere in Spain. Oh, that's big for me. And then I come, and then I go to Croatia for being part of a production team for a feature film, and looking at all the other places I've been, all the other conversations I've been part of. Recently, I was part of a masterclass hosted by one of Hollywood's finest producers, Sam Sokolo, and it's amazing. So I feel that when I look back, I have something to say that, I'm trying. Yeah. Although sometimes, we are artists, we never feel good enough. You never feel your work is perfect enough. You never feel you've done what you're supposed to do. But I think that that's also part of the challenges that I'm working on now for myself, trying to, do it, show it, learn from the mistakes and then move on. Don't kill yourself trying to, mourn or cry over one work. So that's where I'm going, and I have lots of stories that I want to tell. I have lots of films that I want to bring to being. I said this about a couple of years ago, and I'll say it again. I will be one of the greatest African filmmakers. Now, I say African filmmakers because no matter how far I go, I want to be recognized as an African filmmaker.
Yeah.
No matter what stories I tell, no matter how big or small, I want to be recognized as an African filmmaker, because Africa is my source. So I also want to keep that close and tell stories that resonate with me and people around me. My focus is really on telling stories, that talks more about diversity, inclusion, stories that talks about culture and cultural exchange, and how that works towards transforming personal journeys. So it could be my journey, it could be your journey, it could be someone else's journey. And I believe that now, thanks to technology, we have a lot of very easy ways of making film. But what if you want to make a good film? It's expensive, But we are still going through, and I believe that with well wishers and support and a big team and all the encouragement and all the support I'm getting from Ohio University, my faculty, my colleagues, my friends, the Ghanaian community, the African community has been amazing. They are the ones keeping us going.
Yeah.
And for students from all over the world and the US, like yourself, you've been very supportive to my journey. Whenever I call, you are always there to help. So I really appreciate it, and I appreciate all those who have been part of the journey and helping out. I really, really appreciate it. I'm going to be big, honestly. Like, I won't even brag.
Yeah,
I'm really.
I like that, speaking
big.
it into fruition.
Yeah, I'm going to be big. Yeah, I just want people to be part of my growth process. Yeah, because I'm going to be really big. Yeah,
that's good. Like, speaking it into fruition really does help. Like once you say it, it's like, okay, I'm doing it. Like, that's a really good good thing to do. So, and
I'm going to rise with people. Like, I want us to rise together. What's the fun in you only being there and what? I want one day when I'm called. Yeah, maybe this is my prophecy, but when I'm called to come for the Oscars, so I'm going to climb the stage and mention all the names of all the people who have impacted me. I know it's going to be a long list. I know they'll turn off the microphone or push me away, but I'm still going to mention the names of all those people who have been part of this journey to make it work. So I just want us to go together. I just want us to, when we get there, we can have conversations and look back at our journey. I want to be there with family and friends. So I want people to, believe in me, the team I have, the kind of works we are doing. But even if you don't like the way I look, at least believe in my stories. If the stories mean something to you, supporting means you're not only supporting Peter Owusu, you're supporting independent filmmaking, you're supporting African storytelling, you're supporting, hustlers, people in the grassroots, people who are on the come up. So, let's go together, I would say.
Yeah, that's a beautiful vision. I love that. Oh man, I'm so sad we have to end this, Peter. Gosh, bro. I wish we could talk all day, but Peter, I love you, man. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us today, and it's just been incredible hearing about your vision for ASHANTI Immigrant and just your passion for filmmaking. I just love your passion for it, and it inspires me. So we can't wait to see this project come to life, man. And for those watching, if you're inspired by Peter's story and you want to support ASHANTI Immigrant, you can head to the campaign page and learn how you can be a part of this journey. All right, and Peter, so if anybody wants to get more information about your films that are coming out and they just want to follow you, where on social media would they be able to reach you at? Okay, so on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly Twitter, the handle is at @PeterOwusu_, at PETROWSU. I hope you put it in the comment section so people can see. And my website is still under construction. I had a few issues, so I'm trying to update it and put all the latest information there. So when it comes up, I'm sure it's going to be like www.peterowusu.com. Yeah, so I also want to say a big shout out to the people who have held me down doing lots of my productions here in the US. I would say, and then Finest, fantastic. Like, these are artists who I'm working with. These are like filmmakers that I think they'll blow up the world.
I'm going to be working with Emmanuel Gbede. I call him the junior Roger Dickens. He's really good. He's going to shoot this film for me, and we've done a couple of projects together. He's amazing. I'm also working with Nicholas Ato Asan Akofo. Is also an amazing filmmaker. My guy, I like him so much. And then I also have Bernard Agozo. He's also one of the young, awesome filmmakers around. I don't know. I feel that I have the future with me.
Yeah.
You know, and I believe that we are going to really grow together. And I know if I don't mention my wife's name, I may not have a place in the house today. So for my future wife, I see you. Yes, I'm here. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your support and your love. For my family, my parents, I really appreciate it. My brothers, sisters, and especially Ohio University, my professors, they've been amazing, my colleagues, and to everyone who's been part of the journey. From my heart of hearts, I say thank you. God bless you. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, and I'll also be sharing stuff about Peter's films as well. So if you want to follow me, I'm on Instagram at Nick_Sklenner and on Facebook, Nick Sklenner. So thank you guys so much, and make sure to follow those pages. We appreciate it. Stay tuned for more updates from the world of the film and culture, and just thank you so much again for tuning in and watching. We really appreciate it. So thank you so much.
Thank
Peter.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bro.
Yeah.